first, so we'll go around and we'll see what everyone's stance is.
My name's Kirsty, I'm a 4th year primary teacher and I'm going to be against...
My name's Neve and I'm a 4th year law student and I'm going to be arguing against using animals.
I'm Roslyn and I'm a 4th year studying law and I'm for animal testing.
I'm Kirsten, I'm a 4th year primary teacher and I am for animal testing for medical purposes.
Hi, I am Robbie Clark. I am a 3rd year mental health nursing student and I am for medical testing using animals.
So I am Niall. I am a 4th year primary education student and I, alongside my partner, Miss Glass, will be leading this debate.
My name is Laura. I am also a 4th year primary teacher student.
Okay, so we'll just kind of start it off with who feels strongly about animals being used for cosmetic purposes. So for example, lipsticks or for, say, hair conditioners or stuff like that.
Can anyone be for cosmetic? Is there really a reason for cosmetic? I can see I'm totally for medical uses.
Yeah, I would agree.
But I would be really surprised if anyone could find a good reason to be for cosmetic uses.
But maybe it's for like cosmetic surgery.
So you think that for...
No, okay, no. So say you were in an accident and you needed a skin graft.
So you were saying cosmetic, it's more like the idea of testing lipsticks and nail
Shampoos, like makeup.
We use skin graft, that might fall under medical research, not nail polish and lipstick.
Alright, okay.
So I'm going to
Take a break.
So would you put mascara on a pig? Put it that way.
Yeah.
Would you put mascara on a pig or lipstick on a cow?
To test like for allergic reactions.
Yeah.
Oh no.
No, because surely if it was an animal, it wouldn't have the same allergies and things as a human.
But then you can argue that again if we're going into the medical research, surely then it wouldn't have the same reactions because it's a different...
I think there's a lot more scope for cosmetic. You can pay people, like, you know, put this lipstick on. If they get a burn, they're getting paid for it. They know the risks. It's not going to be... Medical treatment's a bit different.
But then are humans not the top animal, therefore should we not be testing these things on lower down animals?
Well, no, because it's not. It's only lasses want to
How do you
live
define
body.
what is lower
If it was a
animal?
human, you would have consent, whereas an animal wouldn't.
Exactly.
So
that's the
ethically,
point,
it's
I
not
think.
correct.
I just
Animals can't
think
give consent.
for like makeup and that, like it's been around for years, so they know what's going to work. Like it's not like they're going to be making lipstick out of like new chemicals.
Then maybe
all
like
the
an
time.
I argue the same
anti-aging.
thing about medicine. Like medicine's been around for years.
But there's lots of new
no.
medicines coming in.
But then they thought about that, right?
Oh, maybe we just got new chemicals. They're trying
Like
hyaluronic acid.
new brands coming out with new things like anti-aging lipsticks and face creams that'll make you more youthful. So to test it out, but then a person think it should be humans, not animals, because they'd have consent.
Okay.
And what about Robbie? You were saying earlier about skin cream and you like having like reactions to skin conditions. That might be fall under the cosmetics.
But then again, if someone offered me, Robbie, here's a bit of cream, if you take £500, put it on, it might burn your skin a wee bit, but this £500, I'd probably go
Yeah, but
£500. But yeah, I don't think, for cosmetic purposes, in the end, it's more for people's vanity and stuff. It's not going to improve someone's life other than maybe, you know, they look a bit bonnier than they probably should do at that age and time. You know, it's not got...
So I also think it doesn't benefit every single human. Like, whereas medicine, anyone could get that illness that they're actually testing for.
Some of us will be useful forever. We're not gonna age.
But then what about, say, if you go down the evolutionary route, that if we come from the apes, then surely if they've got maybe the same lips or something like us, or if they've got, say, the same nails as us, same features, then surely that should be alright to test on them.
and that goes in the same route again of consent. Like animals can't give consent, therefore should we really be testing them in any way, shape or form because they can't.
What happens if you own a dog? Can you test it on that dog?
Well, no, because you don't. No.
That's just like saying.
Here, I thought you two were moderators, not debaters.
But nobody's taking the other route. So.
Well, you make animals do lots of other things without their consent.
Yeah. What happens about
Like-
pugs that wear hats?
That's
They need
cruel.
to put
That is
consent.
cruelty, to be honest. I
Less
don't believe in
chance
that.
of someone having an allergic reaction to a hat than a lipstick.
Well, to be honest, pugs are allergic to grass, so you don't know. Pugs are allergic
So
to
you
grass.
can't take them to the
What?
Well, you can. If you take them out too long, though, they begin to get breathing problems, and yeah. Yeah, you
get
can only
a
take them out for
pug
short walks.
Okay, so next question.
So we're going to move on to looking at animal testing specifically in relation to medical research. Do we agree that it's acceptable for animals to be tested if it's in our benefit, basically?
Yes.
I would agree it is.
Me too.
I again think we should still have consent.
Again,
Like,
I agree with that.
because
Well, you're never going
You're
to get
still-
consent from an animal. Like,
And
that's
there's
just
more
not gonna
chance
happen.
of an
then
individual,
why should
if
you
it
have
goes
to
wrong,
put an
then an
animal
individual could end up dying.
But
Whereas
they
if
can
an
do sign language.
animal
They can do
dies,
consent.
yeah, but why should you have to put an animal at risk and not a human? Just because they don't have consent.
Because basically you're putting humans at the top of the chain just because we can speak.
Yeah, like we can
Yeah.
communicate, whereas
But coming back to your point on chimps can sign language, what they can understand. Chimps say, I want a banana, I want
But
food.
they're never going to be able to understand probably the complexity
So
of
then
what they're,
you can't
what they're
really-
being put forward for.
You can't really kind of
But
use
they
that.
can.
though.
They could probably. I think again,
How are you
the
going to
thing with-
explain it to a chimp though?
I think again, the thing with
Something
animal
about planet
testing is
eight.
you can't ask an animal what it's experiencing.
Are you a vegetarian?
No, I'm not a vegetarian.
But did you ask if you could kill it and eat it?
No, I didn't, Robbie.
Oh, I'm just saying.
I'm also not asking. Animals that can be killed humanely for food produce, but
Not all the time.
not all the time. No, but in the main they are.
so how
Whereas
would you
medical
then?
testing, an animal can't say when the pain is too much. It can't say what it's experiencing.
So what
that's
would
like
you
chicken
do
and
then
Even
until
that- is
like
even-
until?
is the research valid? Because
Yeah.
you can't- you have-
But alternatively, what would you do if you weren't testing it on animals? What would you do? How would you test that medical?
There's-
So you would
there's
risk
lots
a
of ways. There's
human
human
that has a
models
bit
coming
more-
forward. There's like
What about for specific diseases? So, would you give a human, a disease to test it on?
well, why should you have an animal disease test on?
But then,
and surely
really,
an animal's again, it's like similar. Like whatever happens to them might be different from what happens to a human.
Because a lot of things are animal tested. They're not actually. If the testing's not done to see if it's going to cure a condition, it's done to see that it's not too harmful for humans.
and do they use it on all animals, or is it certain animals that they know that have got a high genetic link to humans?
Yeah.
As in
Actually,
the
there's been a thing put out in America. It's a legislation, and it's to stop any animal testing on primates. Primates, which is pretty much the closest link to us. And it said that you can do research on cells, which are not part of a living animal, obviously a living cell.
How do you ask a cell how something's going?
But you're not causing the cell indescribable pain, possibly.
How do you know that?
Okay, so you were talking about
Fair
chimps
point.
and how this legislation's on chimps, but what about other animals that are used quite often, i.e. a mouse? So like 95% of their genes are very similar to ours.
But then they're not completely similar to ours, and there's a huge
So,
difference.
so basically, you've now saying they've taken away the one link that pretty much most chimps are 99% the same. So you've actually cut out potentially quite a lot of life-saving choices.
But
Because they're never going to change the law on testing on
question
humans.
is Potentially life-saving, because a huge amount of the medical research that goes out, I mean, it's drugs that don't end up ever being used. I know it's ruling it out, but you're causing animals like a huge amount of pain and suffering for stuff that a very, very small percentage of it actually ends up being put forward to help us.
So you would rather put humans in that pain, who have got families and a bit
Animals
more.
got families.
Animals do
A
have
lot of the
families,
ones that are bred
but
for research
there's a
don't.
lot more chance of them reproducing and having a higher kind of colony of their own animal.
But we're the ones having the problem, so we should fix it.
How?
By testing it on ourselves.
So would you pay people to do it? How much would you pay someone to go and get tested? Do we have the money to give?
What is
those
the value of
individuals?
someone's
We've got money
life
to send
versus an
off
animal's
to other
life?
countries just now.
We don't really send a lot.
This
of
could
food,
this
do
could
we?
sound quite callous, but let's take we'll take Kirsten. We'll say, here you go, Kirsten. Here's a potentially really toxic drug. She takes it. It fails. She ends up dying. Then I give it to a mouse. the mouse dies.
So then that's you put in.
Curzon has the potential. Well, yeah,
as
because
regarding more
Curzon has the
important.
potential to do something very productive to affect the whole world. She has the opportunity, the way to gain education, to find out things to contribute. The mouse, no offense to the mouse, is probably going to eat some food, maybe have sex with some other mice, make some more mice, and then probably die. It's not, and this is a very selfish maybe way of looking at it, but potentially Curzon is going to do something that could change the world. The mouse could change the world if we maybe tested a drug on it and it found out it was really successful. Otherwise, is the mouse going to do a lot?
I see your point.
Oh man, one more pint and I'm on it.
Hi, my name's Leah. I've sat on the sideline for too long.
I don't think it should, because you're still valuing human life over animals. Like, there's everything must have a purpose.
Well, that's
in my life.
realistically,
So
what does an animal really do for us?
yeah, but that's just
apart from maybe
because
a
in
love
our
within a
lives they're maybe
family?
not as, we don't see them as important or regard them as important. But they, in their lives, they might, we have no idea or no knowledge of that.
I
But
think
they just have to value their life.
You don't know
And
what
us us testing that is not valuing that. So
you don't know there's animals that bring so much to the ecosystem, bring so much to the environment. Like for example, would I bring up bees?
We tested on humans all the time, and then eventually the whole human population died out. There would be no humans to plant plants for bees to then.
Yeah.
But bees
Well, that's it.
bees-
Reproduction is a lot easier in
Us
animals.
more than we need animals.
that's just you put regarding.
But when we're thinking about the animals that we're testing, there's a lot of things that we spoke about mice. They're like kind of rodents. The numbers of them, grow so rapidly and so quickly.
Within London, you're
whereas
no
the
further than a metre
reproduction
from
with
a
us-
rat.
if animals are bred for it, then they're not going to contribute to the ecosystem. Because they're going to be in a cage all
Then
day.
that's the same way you could say, like, if you're saying you can breed things, right, you could say you can breed animals and humans for animal testing. There's an overpopulation of humans.
But you wouldn't, though, would it?
How would you test an animal's consciousness, or how would we discover if an animal did feel all these things? Because you're saying, like, an animal might feel these things. There's no way to test that without doing some really kind of quite deep psychological, probably quite invasive therapy. So we just assume that every animal's, has the same
Has a
feelings as
feeling,
us.
Well, not probably the same things. Look at zoos. Look at the number of animals held in captivity, and it's shown to have a significant
But captivity is very
effect.
different.
It is very
to
different,
animal
but
testing
it's,
for
again,
medical
it's animals not
purposes.
being kept in the environment they should be, and they are having like significant sort of psychological impact on them.
What about
And
if an animal has the disease that the human has, but has cancer, and we test a cancer drug on it? What happens
point.
then to that animal that if it ends up living, if that medical
He's got her.
condition has been therefore
fair enough.
cured?
You're treating an animal for a condition in that way. You're treating the animal, not necessarily testing drugs that are known.
Yeah.
Surely your first right would be to treat an animal with drugs that you know will work,
So it's
instead of experimenting on it.
So it's okay to treat an animal with a condition against their will, if they've got the condition, but you can't give a human an untreated drug.
But what do you mean in that? I'm saying treat,
But that's what I'm
treat
saying,
the
you-
animal with conditions with medical medicine that you know might work.
Yeah, but we can't treat a human with medicine that we know might work.
But you shouldn't. No, I'm saying treat the animal with treat the animal with medicine you know will work.
How do you know it'll work?
Not you know.
But what about
Should
the
you be
resistance
then-
of
Treating humans to work out things that are going to help animals.
I think that you use human clinical trials when there's this basically the last resort almost.
Then part of your argument is also the fact that we shouldn't be using animals because they're different from humans and it wouldn't work. So now you're saying that you would
Oh
test.
no, I'm not saying that. I'm saying use the drugs that are used to treat animals in veterinary. Use those
Yeah.
drugs. Don't use the ones for humans.
But
Like,
what
they might
about
not-
what
they
they've
might
got a
not necessarily
condition
save
that
the animal's life.
there isn't an actual medicine that is known to cure it? What if it's this new condition? Because there's conditions in humans that are ever evolving that we don't know it, that a drug will treat, and it has proved that the drugs that we know work end up not working. So if you have an animal that has a disease that this new drug potentially could cure, then I would rather it was tested on an animal as opposed to a 5-year-old child who's trying to.
But like we said, we don't test on children.
Yeah, but there's a lot of children who are like going over to America to trial these drugs in the sense because they're now finding that they think it will.
Because they're not approved here, because they've not gone through, like, they might have, even if animal testing is done, you still need human test subjects. A drug is not approved on the sole basis of animal testing.
But wouldn't you rather test early stages of a drug on an animal?
No, I don't think it's right to
Test it on the snake.
Another human.
So you would just kill the humans almost
you can have-
immediately if
you've
it
got
doesn't
human-
work.
Technology's gone so far, you have human models that you can test it on, you've got cells, human cells.
What do you mean by human models?
Human models, like, I read this actually earlier today, and I don't actually know how to expand on it. So yeah, apparently that's the aim. There's like 3 R's they're trying to put in animal testing.
Reading, writing, and arithmetic.
Arithmetic spelled with an A.
For teachers.
I understand what you're saying with the cells and everything, but let's be honest, the technology isn't really there yet. It's getting there, and 50, 60 years from now, great, and I will put my hands up right now. Once the technology's there that we can get accurate testing on that, fine, but right now we don't. And does that mean for the next 50 and 60 years we have to go, well, you're done, you're done, you're done, because, Chippy here has his rights too, and,
But the aim is
Sorry, no, it's just like, say in your case when it's maybe like this rat or mouse or whatever has cancer and might be the drug to treat that cancer. That rat survives, great. Are you then, just because that one rat has survived, are you then going to use it on a human?
No, but
Well,
you
no,
would
that's
test
why
on
you test
maybe
on loads
another
of
one
rats.
because
On
you would
lots
think
of
that
rats,
lots of
and then-
rats would have contract that same sort of disease.
So there's going to be lots of rats with cancer that you're talking about.
There
That was
potentially
the
could be.
hypothetical you gave. But the likelihood is the rats will be given cancer, the cancer will be inserted into their bodies, cancer cells. So you're causing, basically in the majority of the cases, you're causing this disease.
how long's a rat's lifespan?
Well, like 2 years.
Yeah, they don't last very long. My sister had them and they died pretty quickly.
Would you then see a 2-year-old child?
Say
What's a 2-year-old child's potential,
say
though?
thousands of rats got given this treatment. The first human to get it, would they feel happy to get it just when it's just been rats?
So the first human who
If it
has
saves
got
them.
a terminal disease has been told that, 999
so many
rats.
not human. So
Well,
they're still probably at
so
some
what's
sort
their
of
choice? Their
If they're
choice
gonna
is
be
to maybe
terminal,
or
if
a death.
if their condition is likely to kill them anyway, I think a lot of them would go on
But then
for
would they not
a
take the drug
that
anyway instead of
potentially-
testing it on an animal if that was the one treatment that they said it's likely?
And
There's
that's
no
what a
point
lot
in
of people
having
are
animals
doing.
to do it. It's like because they would be at this stage where they would take anything, so you wouldn't need the animals to do it.
Like I said, animals are biologically so different to humans that the only reason they test on animals for medical purposes is to see if it's like really, really toxic or whatever. Surely you can do that on some sort of like human skin cell type. I mean, I'm not exactly clued up on it, but you can grow a liver, like you can grow a liver in a lab. So surely you can grow human cells, like you can grow human skin.
Well,
But
they've
how
not
long
got the
does it
technology
take
to make
grow
a real
these
liver.
things?
So say if you
But they've got you can grow skin grafts and stuff like that.
It would be a lot more expensive to grow an organ.
Right, and then see if you
than to
grow-
have badges or mice.
Right, then so say if you grow this organ, this liver, and it takes like this amount of money, this amount of years to grow it, and then you test it and it works. So you're just dependent on that one test on that one liver that you've grown in the lab to work for then everybody.
What about
Like,
external
that's the thing with
circumstances
animals.
as well? Like maybe
Yeah.
other things in the body helping it out.
Pair of rats can produce 2,000 rats in 1 year. So then when those
But still,
2,000
their
rats,
life is
then that's
still a matter,
1,000
whether
can
it be
then
a rat
produce
or-
another 2,000.
How would you
Think how
like?
many rats are going to be there?
How would you like it if it was reversed and we were being used for animal testing because our lifespan isn't as long as, say, elephants, tortoises? Tortoises would be like, oh, well, your life isn't worth it because you don't live for long enough.
Yeah, but it's just
We argue that it's a purely
But it's just
selfish point of view.
Okay, 2-minute roundup, guys. Everybody, give your final opinions here. Yeah, we'll finish.
2 minutes.
Robbie, what's your...
I don't feel.
Hold on, we've been here for like half an hour doing this, so...
I don't feel I've been convinced that we shouldn't be using animals. I feel in the future, once we get the technology becomes viable, as in, you know, yes, some people, Laura, are saying that we can make these things. The amount of money we have to spend to make one not even working organ is phenomenal. Fine in the future if we can get the technology to do these things, but right now I think we do need animals for medical testing.
That's fair. That's good. Neil?
Robbie basically covered everything that I would say. I agree that I think like right now in this day and age, like we need animals if we want to test any medical research, and in the future my opinion could be changed if there's like enough maybe like technology, like what would you call that, like progression, advancement, yeah, in the future, then I could maybe be like persuaded to change my mind, but right now I've not been.
Okay, Laura?
I personally, my personal point of view is actually I agree with medical testing on animals. I'm just clearly backing up Miss Mackay over here. No, but I think it's wrong for us to assume that our life is more valuable than the life of an animal. So
I'm still the same. Like I'd be against it because a life is a life, whether it be a rat or a human. So I'm still against animal testing.
Okay. Neve?
I think that I agree with Kirsty and Laura in that like a human life is more valuable than an animal's necessarily in some respects. But at the end of the day, because there's not actually an alternative just now, I think that we need to do it, but we should like be really putting a lot of effort into developing cells.
Okay. Cool. What's that?
Yeah, I think we should test on animals. I think due to like evolutionary hierarchy, like we are like top, so why not test on animals?
Fair.
It's cheap.
Yeah, like everyone else, I would say that animal testing far outweighs testing anything for medical purposes on humans. I think, like they've said, you don't know how an animal is feeling, or they can't give consent, but in terms of what the benefits are for the humans and the potential for human growth and like lengthening someone's life, I can't remember the word, I would say that animal testing is needed in our society today.
Cool. Thank you very much, everyone. It's been a pleasure. Cheers.
Thank you.
Okay, so hello. Good evening. I am writing this up. So I'm just back from the debate that we had. We had it in the University of Dundee's Lyre Bar, which was nice. It was good to get to the bar. We are after all having a pub debate, so it was good in that aspect. I feel the pub setting maybe wasn't ideal for say like noise and that kind of stuff. I know having the microphone, the seating wasn't ideal for where the microphone was sitting, but we'll get more into that in a later date. So what happened was we had a total of, well, there was how many was there? 9 people there. So we posed the question of how do you feel about animal testing? But everybody that was there had the chance to look up some facts and some figures, do a bit of research previous to this, which was good in that aspect. We gave them about a week or so. There was some good points were made as well. I'll just go over some of the main points now. So we started off with cosmetic purposes. How would you feel about animals being used for cosmetic purposes? The main points there were that nobody that was there agreed with cosmetic testing on animals. My job, whilst I was there, I didn't have a standpoint. I was basically there as the fluffer. I posed questions, I challenged people's viewpoints, and in the end they all came together basically, and nobody agreed with cosmetic testing on animals. Another point was that animals could have different reactions to humans, so results could be invalid. It was a fair point. Humans can be paid to undertake cosmetic testing and know the risks. Somebody was mentioning that it's fine if say I went to a testing facility and they said, here's £500, would you try this medication, or try on this lipstick or something like that. Great, I'm getting paid for it. Animals, they can't get paid for it. They're testing it no matter what. So it's not fair to test animals for humans' vanity. That's another point that links in quite well. Another one was you can't gain consent from an animal to undergo testing. Now this one is quite vital to the next point as well, the next question coming up, but I'll move on to that in a second. And the last point from the cosmetic answers was that cosmetic testing does not actually benefit anybody. This was the viewpoint of everyone there. They kind of stood by that. Why should you be testing this new lipstick on a pig? You know what I mean? There's no need for it. You've got plenty out there. So that was kind of the general consensus. So our next question, which was, it lasted a little bit longer. The actual debate lasted over half an hour. It took ages. It was brilliant. It was so good. But I had to do a bit of shortening on the actual audio file to get it down again. So the main points for should animals be used for medical research. The first one, as mentioned previously, was if you can't get consent from an animal, does it mean that the animals have no rights? And if we can't get consent, can you actually do anything from an animal? You can get humans' consent, but you can't get an animal's consent. Next point was we eat animals without their consent. Or consent's a recurring theme here. Should the same apply to medical testing? So we animals, maybe we're in control here. So why can't we just use them for medical testing? So they're kind of going to die anyway if we eat them. So it's a strong viewpoint there. Should we value human life more than animal life? Funding should be going towards funding alternatives to animal testing. Someone was bringing up we could grow different cells, and we could grow livers and other bodily organs. We could try them on them. We don't have to use animals for that. So next one was animal testing is used to see what harm is caused. Is it fair to let animals suffer? Suffering is again a main point here. You can ask for the consent of the humans to go through this, but if you're not asking consent from an animal and you're putting them through suffering without them willingly taking part, is that right? Next one was, are humans worth more because they contribute more to society? Do humans contribute more to society? Bees came up, high contributors. They're in the news a lot recently. Are we the only ones that actually make the world habitable? You can understand the word there. I can't work it out. So are humans kind of top dog? Are we the best things here? Animals reproduce at higher rates, so are more practical to test on than humans. Good point again. So rats came up, and the fact that they reproduce at such a high rate, is that one rat really going to be missed? You judge for yourself. Do animals benefit us in any way? I think they do in every way. I think in life, we wouldn't be here without animals. So in the aspect of animal testing, do animals benefit us in any way? You got to ask yourself, is it really viable to have that chimpanzee or that gorilla trying out drugs to help cure cancer? If they are so genetically similar to us, is it worth it? These things kind of came up in the debate. And the last point that was made is, should animals be treated with experimental drugs as opposed to those which are proven to work? So why would we be testing animals on, say, if you've got headaches, why would we be testing animals for, say, ibuprofen or paracetamol? We know the effects already. So we've got two more here as well, actually. Technology isn't advanced enough yet to find alternatives to animal testing, such as testing on lab-grown cells and organisms. So maybe in 60 years' time, maybe in 100 years' time, we'd never know. We will know in that time, but maybe when these times arise, then we can look at alternatives. But right now, are we in such a position to do that? And the last one, is it ethical to insert a disease into a healthy animal? Is it ethical to basically cause this animal harm just to see if we can cure it? If we don't cure it, is that alright? Is that okay that we've caused this animal harm? It may die. So we touched on some very controversial and serious topics there in the middle of a pub as well. So I'm surprised we didn't get any more dodgy looks than we did. So yeah, we went through this. There were a couple of problems with it in the fact that the seating wasn't great. Miss Glass, she had to take one of the opposing sides because there wasn't enough people actually opposing the ideas. So she took a strong stance and actually helped the debate carry on quite well. But because of this, she was sitting behind the microphone that I'd already taken time to set up and aim at the debaters, so you can't hear her as well. And that's a technical aspect of this. Although, through this, I could look at actual sound waves and setting up microphones with children. Where is the best position to have people seating? Is it better to have kind of an omnidirectional microphone where everybody's sitting around, or is it better to have just an aimed microphone, to have it set up so it's actually aimed at the people that you're recording? So it's quite an interesting thing to go over with the children. I think they'd quite enjoy that. Another point was the research. I thought this was good, actually. We did give everybody a chance to research beforehand, and nobody was a specialist in this area except from Robbie, sort of, who studies mental health nursing. So he did have that sort of medical background to him, but I guess that's a weak link there. But maybe he knows a wee bit more than kind of everybody else. So I've kind of coined the phrase. It's probably been done before, but I've kind of called it an average Joe style debate, Joe Bloggs style debate, any of those kinds of names. Just because we don't have any background in this, we are just kind of giving our opinions here. So if I was doing this with a class, I would give them plenty of time to research, and they would have every single point that they're going to make listed down, ready to go. And I think that would be quite good to have a debate with a class, especially such a topical issue. Get them thinking, get them kind of looking at what happens in the world around them. Gather the opinions of people around them as well. Ask their families, ask their friends, see what they think. Obviously, maybe not include their family's name, saying my dad thinks that all animals should be killed, or something like that. Obviously, you have to take precautions and say no names are included in this. We don't want to know who thinks these things. You're just posing the facts and figures of what everyone thinks. I've included on my blog an example of a debate that children have taken part in. It's just a one-on-one kind of situation, but I thought it was a nice wee idea. It's something that I could take part in myself, so as a teacher. So again, yes, I did really enjoy this. This has been fantastic to do. I thought it was great fun. There's loads of people. All the people that were there were kind of sad at the end when I called a 2-minute ending to the debate. I think they were a bit shocked because it was going so well, but obviously half an hour is quite a long time. This is a long video again. There's a lot to kind of discuss and go over. I do think that it is a strong teaching point to go for debates. I had one when I was in primary 7. So thank you very much for listening. It's been a pleasure again. As always, I've enjoyed doing this. I love making the videos. I decided that this time it would be better to go with just a voiceover, because I mean there's no point in making a video if the whole thing is a voiceover, so why not just stick to a current theme? That's my thinking behind it. So thanks again for watching. It's been a pleasure, and keep watching Swines.